The team at Technology for Hotels knows how busy you are, so we've created this concise briefing to keep you up to date on key happenings in the hotel industry. Let's dive in. So this week, we're really aiming to cut through the noise, pull out the most important developments from our latest briefing, basically give you busy leaders the key takeaways you need quickly.
Absolutely. And there's certainly a lot happening, lots of movement, investment. It paints a picture of a really dynamic market right now.
Okay, let's start with some openings and developments. Big news out of Auckland.
Yeah, the first JW Marriott for New Zealand.
Right, downtown Auckland. It's a multi-million-dollar transformation.
271 rooms, 15 suites. And the design, it's, really rooted in local culture, art, nature.
What struck me was the wellness focus. It seems quite significant.
Definitely. A 220 square meter wellness center, pool, sauna, steam room, even a cold plunge.
And things like in-room yoga mats, specific wellness programs.
And a wellness concierge. They're even planning things like sound healing down the line, I think 2026. It really highlights that shift towards holistic guest experiences.
Yeah, blending luxury and well-being. It's a key theme, isn't it?
It is.
Okay, staying sort of in that region, Pan Pacific Perth, they've just wrapped up a huge renovation.
A big one. $50 million, 2 years in the making.
Across all 488 rooms, suites, event spaces, the works.
Yeah, they're clearly gearing up for that renewed corporate and leisure growth. The redesign by EPCAT Architects out of Singapore.
What's interesting there?
Well, they've mixed sustainable materials, things like repurposed denim, recycled ocean plastics, with design cues from Western Australia and their own Asian heritage.
So that conscious luxury element again.
Exactly. Plus, they now have Perth's largest event space, about 2,500 square meters. With a new GM, Renz Brewer, they're really targeting conferences, weddings, big corporate events.
Makes sense. And refreshed F&B, too.
Yes. Restaurant Uma has a new South American-inspired menu under executive chef Xerxes Botonwala. It positions them strongly as a modern, sustainable, five-star option.
Okay, let's talk acquisitions and investments. IHG and Salter Brothers, that's a big partnership.
Huge. A long-term agreement, and they're talking $1 billion invested in the Australian market.
Wow. And specific brand changes are coming.
Yes, quite a few. The big one is Regent Hotels returning to Australia. Regent Melbourne is planned for 2030. That's after, nearly 3 decades.
That's significant. What else?
3 Crown Plazas, Sydney Coogee Beach, Melbourne, and Canberra are set to become intercontinental hotels. Think rooftop lounges, spas, premium dining upgrades.
And introducing new brands, too.
Hotel Indigo is coming to Canberra alongside the Intercontinental there, so offering that boutique experience. And Vocal Gold Coast is getting a refurbishment as well.
So IHG is really doubling down on luxury and lifestyle in Australia?
Clearly meeting that demand for high-end travel, yeah.
We're also seeing completely new builds. Crystalbrook Collection has announced Crystalbrook Aurora in Canberra.
Right, city center location opposite the Canberra Center. Slated for early 2027.
A 225-room luxury hotel. What's the angle there?
Well, the design is inspired by Canberra's architectural heritage, but with a very strong sustainability commitment.
Like the Pan Pacific.
Even more explicit, maybe. Waste-free bathrooms, recycled materials, zero-waste initiatives, their Acclaim Day spa. It's core to their responsible luxury brand. They want it to be a landmark destination for Canberra.
Interesting. But it's not all smooth sailing on the investment front, is it? There's talk about Crown Towers, Melbourne.
Yeah, there are some concerns. Blackstone acquired Crown Resorts 3 years ago, you remember, for nearly $9 billion.
Right, and upgrades were expected for Crown Towers.
But they haven't really materialized. The feedback seems to be that the hotel is feeling a bit tired, especially compared to newer competitors like the Ritz-Carlton and JW Melbourne.
When was its last refurb?
I think around 2011, so quite a while ago. And apparently room rates have dropped.
So Blackstone's focus has been elsewhere.
It seems they've been focused on sorting out regulatory issues, plus facing revenue pressures and increased competition. But delaying reinvestment in a flagship like that, it's risky.
Yeah, experts are saying renovations are pretty crucial for them to stay competitive. Needs watching.
Definitely.
Okay, shifting to broader industry trends and recognition, Marriott held their Awards of Excellence.
Yes, the J. Willard Marriott Awards for 2025, honoring individuals, a business council, 4 properties, really celebrating service, innovation, community impact.
It's a long-standing thing, right? Since '87.
That's right. It underscores their commitment to core values and recognizing their people, important for internal culture.
We're also seeing positive signs in certain markets. Melbourne and Adelaide seem to be performing strongly.
Yeah, really strong growth. It seems they've successfully absorbed the new luxury supply that's come online over the last 5 years. The WO Hilton, Ritz-Carlton in Melbourne, Marriott, Sofitel, Crown Plaza in Adelaide.
Occupancy isn't quite back to pre-pandemic levels yet.
Not quite, but they're showing global strength, leisure demand, business travel slowly recovering, big events like the Australian Open, LIV Golf, concerts. They're all helping.
And RevPR has recovered.
Fully recovered, yeah. And growth is expected to continue. Investor confidence seems high too. Both domestic and international buyers are active.
Good signs. And up on the Sunshine Coast in Queensland.
Also positive news. A record 310 operators were recognized in the Best of Queensland Experiences program for 2025. That's up from 284 last year.
And the quality is improving too.
Significantly, 59 achieved a perfect score, up from 43. The local leaders are crediting strong industry collaboration there, a real commitment to improving the visitor experience.
Excellent. And speaking of top performers, Rydges Melbourne got a nod from Cvent.
They did. Named in the top 50 meeting hotels in Asia Pacific, and actually #1 in Victoria.
That's impressive, especially after their big transformation last year.
Absolutely. It highlights their event capabilities, the tech in their meeting spaces, that Bosley rooftop bar. They're setting a high bar for MyCE business.
And one more on the positive front, Novotel and WWF.
Right, marking 1 year of their partnership with new initiatives for ocean protection.
Like what specifically?
A sustainable seafood policy banning endangered species, aiming for certified sourcing. Also pushing plant-forward menus, aiming for 25% plant-based options by 2026. Plus, education, reducing plastics and food waste.
So a real ongoing commitment to responsible hospitality.
Yeah, it shows these partnerships can drive tangible actions.
Quick mention of some key personnel changes the stars in motion.
Sean Parsons is now general manager at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
Courtney Reagan has joined Bailey Lodges as chief commercial officer.
And Simon Chadbourne is the new regional general manager for brand licensed hotels over at EVT.
Important moves to keep track of.
Always. Leadership changes often signal strategic shifts.
Okay, let's finish up with tech. Digital compendiums seem to be everywhere now.
They really are rapidly replacing the old paper guides, aren't they? Accessible on tablets, phones, TVs.
The benefits seem pretty clear. Convenience for guests.
Definitely. Real-time updates, easy access to services, less paper waste, which ties into sustainability.
And opportunities for hotels, too, like upselling.
Exactly. Plus, multilingual support, device flexibility, and now AI is starting to personalize them, too. They're becoming essential tools, really.
And that brings us to AI in general. It's reshaping hospitality across the board.
It is. We're seeing it in voice assistants, chatbots, smart room controls, automation in housekeeping, and F&B.
Also behind the scenes, like energy management, pricing.
Yes, AI-driven energy savings, dynamic pricing, demand forecasting, analyzing guest feedback in real time. Lots of applications. Brands like Wynn, Hilton, Ritz-Carlton, IHG, Caesars are all exploring this.
But the key is finding that balance, right? Technology and the human touch.
Precisely. AI should enhance the service, make things more efficient, maybe free up staff to provide that irreplaceable human connection, not replace it entirely.
Good point. And finally, a heads up for everyone keen on the latest tech. HITEC North America 2025.
Right, that's coming up soon, June 16th to 19th in Indianapolis.
The world's biggest hospitality tech showcase.
And Brendon Granger from Technology for Hotels will actually be there, along with some of the Growth Advisors International Network team members.
Great. So a key event for staying ahead of the tech curve.
Absolutely essential if you want to know what's next in Hospo Tech.
That wraps up this week's 5-Star Weekly Briefing. Thanks for tuning in and staying informed with the latest in the hotel industry. Don't forget to check out our 5-Star Conversations deep dives for more in-depth insights from industry leaders. We're here to help you stay ahead. Until next time, stay well and stay ahead. See you next week.